Hey, what's going on, everyone? Steve here at the TheDjLab. Going to do a little live Q&A here with the AlphaTheta XDJ-AZ, or AZ, depending on where you live. Let's just wait for a few more people to join, and I don't know, I should have did this a little earlier, but I was doing some videos to put up. I was doing videos on how to do the roll effect. There's a little roll effect trick you can do, like a sampler. I was showing everyone how you go shift quantize. If you hold down the shift and the quantize button over here, you can independently, or the shift and quantize on this deck, you can turn quantization on per deck. That's something that I didn't know, just found out. So if you join the chat, feel free to say hello and ask me a question. I've got the Sony ZV, what is that, the ZV-1F as my overhead camera. I'm only running 720p for this stream because I don't know, was having a hard time figuring out the cable situation. So we're only running 720, but should be good enough to get a feel for what's going on with this thing here. And I do got sound hooked up, by the way, too. So we got sound pumping in. One of the nice things about the AZ is the fact that from the USB-C port, you can just plug a USB-C cable straight into your computer, and it pops up in OBS just like a sound card. Just an audio input. So, got the microphone hooked up, USB mic hooked up. Got this hooked up as for sound. We got the good camera. Everyone's got questions about this damn thing. This is the time right now to ask. People start asking me questions in the middle of doing a mix, and they want to know things, and I'm mixing, you know what I mean? Or I'm ranting about something and they're asking me questions. So I thought, you know what? Everybody wants to know what this thing. Here it is. If you got questions, I have the Opus Quad. I've got CDJ 3000s. I have V10. I've had the A9. I've got the Euphonia. I have all the gear, the Prime 4 Plus. If you want to know the honest answers to everything, I'm the guy. I will tell you what the rest of the people won't. I have no connection to none of these companies. Well, I shouldn't say I have no connection. AlphaTheta does loan me stuff. I bought this one with my own money. It's not a loaner. The Opus Quad was a loaner. I have the Omnis Dual, that's a loaner. Prime 4 Plus is a loaner as well too. But like, I mean, nobody pressures me to say anything. I can say what I want about this gear, as long as I'm not lying about it. So like I said, feel free to pop in, say hello. Let me change top chat to live chat. See if anyone's kicking around. You guys are all shy, don't want to talk. I get it. Do a quick little mix while we're waiting. That was a roll effect, by the way. We got one like in here, 7 people watching. I'm not here to do a big mix. That's not what we're here for. Trying to make some money here on the channel and doing a little Q&A. I find it hard to believe that no one's asked any questions about this damn thing yet. I know a lot of you were thinking about buying one, and there was some issues when these things came out. They're freezing and crashing. You watched my channel. You saw all the shit I went through. So I go through this shit so you don't have to. So I returned mine. I got my money back. And it was an RMA. So they did push a new one through quickly. They didn't just fix this one. You know what I mean? They actually, it was a brand new one resent out. And I know that because I checked the serial number. So brand new, had the firmware 1.05 on it. I upgraded to 1.10, which can do Serato. I've tried it out with Serato. Works good at Serato, except with Serato, of course, you have no way of controlling the Serato effects. You're only going to be working with the built-in effects here, which are good. But if you're a Serato user and you like your Serato effects, I see no good reason why you'd spend this much money on a standalone unit anyways. I guess in the sense, if you're a wedding DJ, let's say, and you like using Serato, and you're always afraid that you need a backup just in case your computer was a crash out, this would be good. It would make sense. But for the price of it, literally, you could go buy yourself a second laptop and another controller. Do you know what I mean? You could have two, you could literally have a backup controller and a backup laptop all set up, waiting to go. A little bit more work, I guess, but you guys know this trick here, the space. It's like on the drop you do it. Ready, like on the drop right here. And the bass kicks in. It's like thunder. On a big system, this is great. A little sizzle. Here's something else a lot of you guys don't know. Many DJs think that level depth should be around 12 o'clock. For some things, yes, and for other things, no. So check this out. If we were just the mids and we're playing around with the rolls here, let's say, right? And use a touch strip. This is not the best track because this track, strangely enough, is not beat gridded worth a shit. Now, cool thing, new record box came out with this high dynamic beat grid system that's going to fix a lot of this issue. Fred says it looks great, but it's not. This isn't the next generation standalone we wanted. Top half is XDJ-AZ, bottom half is AZ. What did you want? The XZ was one of the best-selling units they ever made. So why would they change it too much? They gave us CDJ-3000 jog wheels. They gave us a bigger screen than a CDJ-3000. They gave us control over 4 decks. They gave us the effects of the A9 mixer. I don't know what you were expecting. You can record to the thing. It can run Serato. It can run Rekordbox. You can run Virtual DJ on it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I had Virtual DJ running with it. I don't know what you were looking for. Oh, the level depth tip. Yeah, I probably should snip that out, right? I'm probably going to make a video about that, PJ, because I do find a lot of people just they put too much in. And this goes for like everything, echoes. Well, another thing here too, just in case you guys don't know, um, is watch this. Speed vinyl adjust. Go into your menu here, hold it, speed vinyl adjust. I have mine at 3. I think 3 is a sweet spot on this. I do miss having a knob, but this is okay because I usually have it set in one spot anyways. And then with the slip, watch the slip mode thing. Turn on slip mode. Now that trick works way better with drum and bass. There's a lot of genres that works better, but you get the idea. Yeah, 12 o'clock is just overpowering. It's good like when you're doing that whole roll trick, it works. Switching between 4 and 3. Put on the master. Put back on 4. Be able to EQ it. Fun. So Omar wants to know, what do I think of the Denon SC Live 4 compared to the XDJ-AZ? It's a good question, because I haven't played with the SC Live 4 in a while, but that's still a banging unit, man. Build quality maybe doesn't feel quite as good, but functionality-wise, you've now got stems, you have access to all the streaming music. The one thing you can't do, you can't go between standalone mode and Serato. So that's a bit of a bummer. The other thing you can't do as well is if you're doing live streaming, you need a sound card. You can't just plug in your SC Live 4 into the computer and have it show up in OBS. It doesn't work like that. Something Denon DJ just can't do, and I wish they could figure that one out, because right now All the standalone devices that AlphaTheta, Pioneer, DJ make can do that, including the Opus Quad. The I'm pretty sure the XZ could do this back in the day as well too. That you can just plug it in. So in this day and age of people streaming, this is beneficial. It's one thing that sucks. It's hard for me to do. I believe it or not, I don't have a separate sound card for my Mac. You know, I was using like a Tractor Audio 4 that just doesn't have support anymore. And doing videos where I have the sound jacked in doesn't work so well for the Prime 4. Have I encountered any problems? No, this has been working great. I think any of the issues they were having, they've worked them out. Omar, did I see that Denon just released stems on their products? Yeah, man. I was there day one. Just full disclosure, I actually am a beta tester for these guys. So I generally know things and with a little bit of advance notice so I can get the videos ready and stuff. Try to think of some other things that I'm really enjoying, like the beat jump controls. I don't think enough people utilize the beat jump, and to realize when you go a second time you can actually do 64 up and back. Like you've got your beat jump here, but you're limited. You set it. So having some beat jump pads does make a difference depending on the genre of music that you play. The key shift, I don't think I'm ever going to use the key shift for anything. I'd really like to see a really cool demo of somebody doing it. Probably PJ's got a good demo. PJ always is good at showing off all the features these things have. And yeah, Omar, you know what? Denon DJ's killing it. They're definitely killing it in the feature department. My only downfall, I would say, of a Prime 4 Plus, as an example, I just don't like how the effects are laid out. I would have just copied AlphaTheta Pioneer DJ. Even the Opus Quad, I love the Opus Quad. I love it a lot. There's a lot of things in the Opus Quad I really like, but here's my take on this. For years, I used an SX2. I used an SX1 for years, and I use an SX2, and I DJ'd a lot with my SX1 and SX2. So, and I had a Tractor S4. So having pads on controllers was a big part of when I was starting to get serious about DJing and DJing out a lot. And then I had the DDJ-1000 for Record Box, and I love that controller. I love the jog wheels, and I DJ'd a lot on that thing. And then I did have an XDJ-AZ, and I used that an awful lot too. So the Opus Quad felt like a complete different animal. You know, every time I went to go hit the back button, I was hitting the playlist button at the top here. It was like that wheel, that encoder joystick thing was too big. I didn't really find a good use for it, to be honest. And I was constantly messing around, and then having the screens at the top, and then having the track jump button up there. The workflow of muscle memory was a little bit weird for me. Now with the AZ, this thing just feels like the most familiar. Everything feels like it's exactly where I'd expect it to be because I had DJM 900 Nexus, DJM 900 Nexus 2. I had an AZ. I have CDJ 3000. So, you know, used to pads, used to the CDJ 3000 wheels, the way things loop, where everything is, the beat syncs and the key sync and everything. This just feels like the most familiar kind of setup if you're a DJ. And what about the SZ2? I used an SZ a long time ago. Didn't own one, just used one. I liked it. It was cool. And I don't know. It's two different things, man. You know what I mean? That's still a controller at the end of the day. And this is a standalone. So it's pretty hard to make that comparison. Starlight, you got the AZ today, did you? Yeah, that's nice, right? Like, honestly, this really has me considering. I have someone who wants to buy my CDJ 3000s and my V10. And because I'm just doing the videos here at home, I'm not DJing out, there's probably no good reason for me to continue to make videos on the V10, on the 3000s, because it's expensive. And anyone who owns that equipment doesn't really need to watch my videos. And I feel like all the videos I made are made. So this makes the most sense, I think, from the YouTube channel perspective, and even just DJing at home. I really like this. Like I said, I got a lot of equipment here. I like them all. And you're right, like the Opus had its own design. And I think with the Opus Quad, if someone who they weren't that much into DJing, and they grab the Opus Quad, and you're an open format DJ, hip hop DJ, it's really good. I would eventually get used to it. You know what I mean? If I would just continuously used it and nothing else, I would be totally used to it. Because I'm jumping around gear a lot, I just don't have enough man hours in behind the Opus Quad to feel like I could run this thing in my sleep. And for the AZ, concern I haven't had it long. I did have it before too. It just still feels super familiar. I like having the 3-band isolator. Well, it's actually not even an isolator, to be honest. That's just an EQ at the top. So it's kind of strange because we have an isolator on the V10. This is just like, you know, +6, -26. So 3-band master EQ. And that comes in useful for my speaker system. Sometimes at night, I want to kill the bass a little bit. So I kind of like it for that. And I didn't understand this whole jog wheel. Like the jog wheel on the Opus Quad, the joystick, flick it to the left, start the song in the beginning, flick it to the right, you start the song in the middle. Me touching the screen of where I want to be is kind of good enough for me, to be honest, for doing that whole Q-Link deal. Will they upgrade the stem quality, or is it a hardware thing? You must be talking about the Prime 4 stems. And it's all pre-computed on a computer. So could they potentially tweak the algorithm and the software they're using to do it? They could. So right now, I think the stems sound pretty good. I'm like, they're about as good as they get, I think. If they were to make them better, they could. Let's put it this way. Stems are sounding the best they're going to sound right now. And when you consider what stems sounded like a year ago and what stems sound like now, you can only think that, hey, in a year's time, stems are going to sound even better. So just remember, this is right now, what you currently have is the worst sounding stems that we've got. So future wise, sure. You know, it's funny, PJ, that you're talking about that EQ. Someone was just mentioning how that's the one thing they hated about the V10. And I wish that had been something that could have been user selectable. I get the way some people like to DJ with a 4-band EQ, and I still would have liked to have it as a kill. Because I never found myself actually using the isolator on the V10 while I was mixing, strangely enough. No. The AZ has no stems. I would say, like, if you want to do stems on the AZ, you have to run Rekordbox. And this might not be the most popular thought, but personally, I think if you buy a standalone controller to run DJ software with on your computer, you're a fool. I see absolutely no good reason to do it. It's nice to have, I guess, but no good reason to do it for that very purpose. I still say if you want to use Rekordbox and get like the full benefit of what Rekordbox can do, Flex 10. Never used one, but from what I can see, that's the full benefit. You want Rekordbox, buy a Flex 10. I still believe you want to run Serato, you're a diehard Serato fan, I'd be using the Rain Performer. Sorry, PJ. I had a Rev 7, and because I'm not a turntablist, I just didn't like where the pitch faders were. The layout just wasn't familiar for me. So I like the Rain Performer better. And if you want to use Virtual DJ, the Rain Performer works really well in DJ Pro. I tried Virtual DJ with the AZ, and something I gotta check it out. The wheels, the jog wheels didn't feel as tight as I would have liked them to be. And does the AZ work if I put an MP3 file on a stick without Rekordbox? Yes, it does. It will analyze it. But personally, in a pinch, sure. Ideally, I still think you're better to have Rekordbox analyze your stuff, especially with the new Rekordbox update. And the beat grid is way better now. I mean, I ran a bunch of hip hop last night, and I saw it fixed it up completely. The other tip that you should all know, PJ told me this one, is when you open up Rekordbox and it tells you there's an update and it allows you to download it through the software, don't do it. Go straight to Rekordbox. Like, go right over to the website and just re-download it from scratch. It's going to be way faster. For some strange reason, doing it through the updater is slow, man. Like, painfully slow. Don't waste your time. And Fran, did I get any update 12-inch skins? Well, I think they have a skin for the AZ because I'm pretty sure they're going to be sending me one soon. And does the AZ load FLAC files? I believe it does. I don't have any FLACs currently sitting here. But if I remember correctly, PJ can fill you in on that one. But as far as I remember, I'm pretty sure it does FLAC. Also, too, friends, I can't thank PJ enough for hooking me up with this SanDisk stick. That SanDisk Extreme Pro is such a good USB stick. It's super fast. It's a little bit big. It's not like the prettiest stick on the planet, but I would highly recommend that stick to anyone who needs it. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to see if there's a deal on it. Yep, there is a deal. 37% off right now. It's a great deal. Let me and that's Canadian. I'm looking at the US prices, by the way, too. So let me share that link out with you guys. That's a great deal. I don't know anything about delivery times, by the way, in Europe. So that's my Amazon affiliate link if you want to check out this stick right now. Like, prices go up and down. Cyber Monday had deals. You got to really get that stick at the right time because this stick is cheaper than when I got it. Can I show you 4 tracks played at once if possible? Yeah, that's easy enough to do. Now, you're not going to get 4 waveforms. Just remember that. And let me tell you, honestly, the one thing I got to say, I'm not a 4-deck person to begin with. And if I was going to do 4-deck, I kind of really like to see 4 waveforms on the screen at the same time because otherwise I get confused. And like, here's what I would have liked to see, to be honest. And I don't know what kind of lights behind this thing because CDJs primarily can either go red for on air or white to be off air. This is where the Opus Quad made sense. The Opus Quad, when you could set the colors up so when you switched back and forth between decks, you knew, I could set, 2 decks to be red, 2 decks to be blue, and there was no screwing around. I always knew what layer I was on. This one here, it's, like it says right there on the screen. Like you can see what's selected. But, and you can see there, but you got to do a lot of reading. I mean, it's not jump out in your face to know. Even if we had to change this, that could be an update. That screen can do full RGB color. So that white ring around there, when we go to the other decks, that could easily be a user selectable color. So maybe PJ can whisper in the ear of one of the engineers or whoever's in charge over there to say, seriously, that alone, just, it would help me. because nowhere on the display does it actually tell me. Now, I do remember, how do you do that? There is a way to change that center display. And pad info display. Double tap the shift. That's right. So double tap in the shift. It still doesn't tell me on the display what deck I'm running. Now, I get it. The lights are right above. Just look at the deck. I know it's nitpicking. It would just be an extra visual. How it works with the half echo to low frequency. And me personally, I don't think I would ever do an echo on the lows, especially the big club. I don't think it would sound right. To me, echoes are like a mid kind of thing. Laser echo. Turn up your filter all the way, the parameter, and laser echo. This is going to be on pre-order for the next 4 years. I don't think so. I think they're going to get everything going. I think that was a little bit of a hiccup because they weren't expecting there to be a bunch of stuff that was bad. And I don't think there was as much bad units out there. They just want to be safe and like stop them just to make sure everything was cool. Everything had the update because they just want to make sure the ones that were sitting at the distributors that they were getting the update before they got shipped to you. Because some of you guys just don't know how to update. By the way, for Starlight, we got the AZ. There is the update for Serato. To do an update on this, it's super simple. You download the update to your stick. Like, unzip it, put it on the stick. It's a UPD file, I think. And you turn the unit off. You plug your stick in. You press and hold beat sync and master on the right side. Turn it on. It's going to be reading the stick, and you'll see, and you let go. Now, in all fairness, I gotta say, Denning DJ makes firmware updates a lot easier because you're connected to Wi-Fi, Ethernet, whatever. You turn it on, and it tells you, hey, there's a new firmware update. You want to do it? And you say, sure, and it says, you want to do it over USB, you want to do it over the web, or do you want to do it over the computer plugged in? And you say, do it over Wi-Fi. Do it through the web. And boom, it's done. Maybe one day in the future, perhaps the guys over at AlphaTheta will figure out a nice, easy way to do that as well, too, because they are the market leaders. I shouldn't have to be checking my emails and looking at forums and, hearing it from my friends that there's a firmware update on my machine. And, there is the firmware updaters, the alert thing, the software in your computer. So if you happen to have a standalone plugged into your computer, it'll let you know, oh, by the way, there's an update, but I bought a standalone to not plug it into a computer. Does the AZ support show control? Good question, Christian. I'm assuming yes. It's all ProLink. I used that I was the first one to make a video actually showing that this works perfect with the what's that software? The Beat Link trigger. So Beat Link trigger, obviously, if it's working through Beat Link trigger, okay, I imagine show control is going to work because it's all based on the Pro DJ Link. Yes, it is a terrible way to update in the year 2024. The only thing I can say, like, if I had to play devil's advocate and say why this is a better way to update, is if you're updating over Wi-Fi, I don't know, what if your internet connection was to go down in the middle of things? What would happen? And I'm going to ask Dan and DJ, I'm going to ask these guys straight, like, you know, are there any scenarios where an over-the-air update could brick your system? Because that's the last thing you want. I bricked an SX1 back in the day doing a firmware update. Something screwed up, it got bricked, and it had to literally go in to get fixed. Just screwing around here, playing around with the roll effect. I did a whole video earlier today too about the roll effect and how you can use it like a sampler to grab 8 beats and move it between channels and do effects on it and stuff. Also, the other thing I didn't know, I talked about the Opus Quad having independent quantization buttons, which was cool. And I thought this one couldn't do it, but it can. It's just, obviously, you should read the book when you get these things, right? You hold down Shift, you press quantize, and you can turn it on and off. You see it on the screen for your left deck, and do the same for the right deck. Shift, quantize on and off. And that's pretty cool. I don't think, the only thing I don't believe you can do is you can't say half beat quantize on one deck and 1 beat quantize on the other. And do the jog wheels have any other displays? Yes, you double tap and you have So you have a display here for like your beat jump, your slip mode. You're doing your key shift, which is handy because it shows you your semitones, right? And your key sync. So that's kind of handy to have. If you play around with a lot of the loops and stuff and your beat loops and stuff, handy to have it sitting right there. Like I said, all you gotta do is just a double tap. And gives you a little waveform display. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Opus Quad, how you had those things up there. Obviously, when you turn vinyl mode on, it tells you you're in vinyl mode. If you got your beat sync on, it tells you sync master. That's funny, PJ. See, can't know everything, right? I mean, I did the video and I was top of the Opus Quad, and somebody like just messaged, you know, they left a comment and said, "Oh, just hold shift." I'm like, what? It's super not obvious, right? It's the last thing that you, because it doesn't say anywhere about the shift functionality of the quantize button. So how would you know that? Obviously, it's buried in a book somewhere. Always nice when I can show PJ something new. I know a lot of people probably think, why would I want to have quantization off on one deck and on another? But if you're a finger drummer, you're doing a lot of hip hop scratch routines and stuff, it probably makes sense. It probably makes total sense to be able to have that. Hopefully, I haven't even looked at the camera to see. I guess the lighting's still looking okay. So right now, just to tell you guys what's going on with the camera situation, I'm running 720p because maybe I don't have the right cable for my ZV-1F for the Sony to run as a webcam. So I'm running 720 and I have a monopod with the feet on it. Then I have my Insta360 stick with a little adjustment. Everything's pointing down. It's pretty ghetto. And you can probably tell I have some black foam and a black sheet wrapped around so you don't see the my DJS 1000 sampler beside, and to try to make it look a little bit more professional. I ordered this mount that connects to the desk, where that goes over top and goes across so you can like attach cameras and stuff. And hopefully that's going to make a difference in making videos. The setup I have right now is kind of working. It's funny that I've had the ZV-1F for such a long time, but it does seem to have the right lens for an overhead like this. And the fact I can flip the screen around and stuff is pretty useful. So hopefully the plan will be that I'll have this as the overhead. I'm going to be able to put the A7 IV connected onto this piece so I can have it. The idea is I want to be able to walk up to the desk and not have to spend 30 minutes setting things up to do a live stream or to do a tutorial video. So 2025, I'm going to be spitting out way more tutorials. And hopefully you guys are all on board with the whole channel going private. Because I got to make money. If I'm making more money, I'm going to put more time and effort into this and treat this like a 40-hour-a-week job and just pump the videos and pump them and do lots of work. So the plan is make it members only, $2 a month. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit more, but probably $2 a month is going to be where I'm going to sit. Now I want to keep it cheap and affordable for everyone. And I'm not just going to do videos. I'm literally going to put together, say, sample packs. I'm going to like download things and put together sample packs for people to use in your samplers. Maybe make some scratch sentences up, you know, build some stuff. I'm going to create some value beyond just the videos and the rants and everything else. and see what we can do, because I think I can make the channel better. And I think I don't need a million people sending me $2 a piece. It would be nice, but literally, I get 150,000 views a month. If I can get literally a thousand of those people just to give me $2 a month, it'd be well worth my time. Scratching or using hotkeys with Quantize on is 90% of your tech support calls on the weekends after 10. Crazy. It's also the reason why he discovered Do Not Disturb. You know what? I've done that now too. After like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. I've got it set for my girlfriend's number and my mom's number, that they're the only ones that can cut through. Everyone else, tough luck, man. Well, there's maybe the one downfall of the AZ. PJ can probably tell you more. It's not a Magville fader. It feels good. I'm not heavy on my faders. I don't scratch, so my faders will last me forever. There are no screw holes to just remove this top plate. This does not look like an easy crossfader replacement by no stretch. It looks like you probably got to take the whole thing apart. Yeah, Johnny, no fader start. I get it. The Prime 4 has fader start. The Prime 4 Plus also has a user replaceable crossfader. I don't know. I think a lot of the new school DJs just don't really take advantage of fader start. I mean, I never use it. It's cool. I just never use it. And I imagine if you're a scratch DJ, that might work. I don't think it's got a shift play thing. Is it hidden shift play? Huh. Nope, there's no shift play. Maybe one of these days, someone's going to explain to me the benefit of turning off vinyl mode and doing that. I don't know what that's for. All these years DJing, and I don't know anybody that uses this thing without the vinyl mode turned on. So the Flex 10 has fader start. Interesting. So it's to help set the cue. I guess. Me typically, all my stuff is set. My cue point set for the beginning of the track. I'm a boring DJ. let me pin this thing. This is my Amazon affiliate link, friends. Even if you don't need a 256 USB stick, this is a great USB stick. If you got a friend who's a DJ, you want to buy a gift for someone, nobody's going to say no thanks to a fast USB stick. Even if you don't need a USB stick, you're not shopping for anyone, you're not shopping for this stuff, still, at some point, jump in real quick. Even right now, you can always come back. Just jump in, click the link to the affiliate, and in that 24-hour span, the cookie's set, and any shopping that you're doing for Christmas for your loved ones or for yourself, I will get a small percentage depending on what it is you bought, because it's different percentages for clothes and electronics and this and that, but whatever. And don't forget, your privacy is safe. I know what's bought, I just don't know who bought it. So if you need to buy your girlfriend some lingerie or something weird and fun, I'm gonna know somebody bought something fun and weird, but I just won't know who. CDJ mode was before the introduction of beat grids. That kind of makes sense. Well, that's interesting to know that Tiesto plays that way. So he plays with vinyl mode off. I guess, too, the one thing about having vinyl mode turned off is you're not going to accidentally someone throws something on the stage and it hits the jog wheel, you bump into it. So there's nothing's going to fuck up on you. So I guess that's not a bad tip, that if you're up on a stage and you're not scratching and you're just straight DJing, EDM, techno house, whatever stuff, maybe having vinyl turned off isn't such a bad idea, because you're not going to have that moment, especially if you got like photographers around you. We've seen this, right? We have seen where on a festival, the photographer's like leaning over and they press a button or they do something stupid. So, or if you got like your floor level and there's people in front of you and there's always that idiot, that drunk idiot they want to run over and they want to do something with a jog wheel. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Okay, friends. So new update. I have to. I didn't know we are going to do it today, but my mom wants to take me over to FedEx. Well, Staples. I have this Opus Quad. This is such a funny story, man. So the Opus Quad was loaned to me. The first one that was sent to me, I think the start. It was, this is one of these loaners that's been through NAM and everything else, no doubt. And the styrofoam was broken inside. So there was all these little styrofoam balls floating around. And I think one of them might have got caught under the jog wheel. So the one jog wheel was a little bit messed up. It just was scraping. So they were quick to replace it. They were quick to send me another one. They were quick about it. And I thought, so here's what the plan was. It was supposed to be FedEx was going to bring me the new one and they were going to pick up the old one at the same time. But FedEx, all the big heavy things, they're farming it out to like third-party companies. So third-party company gets it and they deliver it to me. They don't have the ability to get it. And then I didn't have the stuff printed off either that was sent to me. Like shit, I kind of forgot I had to print off labels. So new one comes. On the outside of it, it says return labels and has the labels for me to return the old one. So I pulled them out. I didn't even really look at them. I get over to FedEx, to Staples. I take these things, they're on stickers. I stick them on, away it goes. And a week later, I'm getting a FedEx delivery that I wasn't expecting. And it's the Opus Quad, the same one I sent out. The return labels that they sent me was to me, not from me. So I had to wait to get a ride and I was waiting for the labels to be redone again. So labels are now redone. I got to go get them printed off at Staples and we're going to return the Opus Quad again. And hopefully this time it actually makes it back. So I got to say, it's nice getting loaner equipment from these companies. The only thing that sucks about it is when you don't drive and you have to rely on other people to take you places to drop things off. That's the only thing that kind of sucks a little bit. And quite possibly, if I got to invest in a printer too. If I had a printer here and printed this stuff, I probably could have arranged for a pickup. Quite likely, but whatever. We're going to go out for dinner anyways, so I'm going to be leaving here at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, which means we have a little bit more time for some questions and answers here on the XDJ-AZ or AZ, depending on where you live. And one thing I'd like to say, I want to see from AlphaTheta. Take a page from Den and DJ, and don't be afraid to make firmware updates to give us new features. And not just bug fixes, like actual new features. Wouldn't hurt to, like I feel bad, like the Mobius effect, right? All the Opus Quad guys wanted this. It's such a cool effect, man. The Mobius effect sounds really good at drum and bass house. There's a lot of things that you can throw that in there. And then you combine it with the sound color effects and stuff. And you always put it on its own channel. Don't run Mobius over top of an existing channel because you want to have that fine control over it. Look, I get a Mobius just on the low. Crazy shit, man. What's your thought on inputs? Is it limited in the ability as a bass unit to build on? Could extra effects and drum machine turntables be added to make a full-on setup? Yes and no. So for instance, we have no MIDI out on this, right? So no MIDI clock. But oh yeah, the you're right. The Mobius, the great thing is on the Opus Quad, nothing is screen printed on, right? It's all on the screen. So there's absolutely no good reason why, if all the Opus Quad guys got on the forums and really pushed saying we want it, that I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to swap out an effect or add it in. Maybe, could be, but who knows? As for adding drum machines, currently as this thing sits, yes, it has no send return. Now I do a video where I took the headphone jack out and went into the DJS-1000 and then back into a channel, and that worked. So, and it worked well because you can pro link them together, they all sync up fine. And hey, the headphone jack basically is a send. I could select where, what channel I want to sample from, and I've got two headphone jacks, so one for there, one for my headphones, and worked out well. Truth is, DJS-1000, you might not do a lot of live sampling anyways. You could, but it does pro link in, so you can still use it quite well with this thing. The only downfall, let me think about that for a second. Can you do this? Line. Okay, nice thing I just realized here. And I don't know if the Opus Quad can do this. I can have a line input and still run 3 decks. I forget about the Opus Quad if it can do that or not. So I can do a Bluetooth and still have deck 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and my 4th deck be Bluetooth. Which brings up another interesting Bluetooth. There's all kinds of soundboards and stuff and apps you can get on your phone and iPad that you could Bluetooth in and have a bunch of sound effects that you could run through that and still run effects. Now, what would be really, really cool, and God knows, maybe in another universe, or maybe someone listens, if we could get Ableton Link on this stuff. If all of a sudden we could get Ableton Link like we have on the Den and DJ products and be able to connect wirelessly to link up to other apps and stuff, shit would open right up for that kind of stuff. So who knows? One day, man. The XZ doesn't have a send and a return. No, it had a send. So the XZ just, that was the difference. It had a send and not a return because you could only control 2 decks. Like I'm telling you, that XZ, when you look at, when you put a DDJ-1000 beside it, sorry, DJS-1000, it was designed to have a DJS-1000 with it. You know what I mean? It was designed to have 2 inputs. So you didn't need a return. You just need a send. Now, in this case here, they went the other way around where we don't have a send and you don't need a return because you have a channel. but you eat up a channel. Like, you don't really need to have 4 decks and a sampler. You know what I mean? If you got 3 decks and your sampler, I think you're more than good. I heard you can't have active link. You can't have link active and dual layers available at the same time. This is true. If all of a sudden I run my CDJ with this, so there's the other thing you can't do. You can't have one CDJ-3000 hooked up to this thing in link mode and have decks 1, 2, 3 dual layer and CDJ. No. When you hook up the CDJ-3000 to it, you lose the dual layer mode on the other side. And me personally, I've had the CDJ-3000 hooked up to it. I think it looks horrible. My OCD gets off the charts. The jog wheels don't line up, having pads at the top and pads at the bottom. It's bullshit, man. I think you'd have to be a mad fool to hook up CDJ-3000s with an XDJ-AZ. Waste of money. If you really love CDJ-3000s, buy them and get yourself an A9 and call it a day. Don't take this thing and start trying to add on CDJ-3000s to it. It's a dumb move. It's a very expensive move. It makes no sense in my mind. You're far better off to buy yourself the sampler and hook it up. And if you really want to get fancy, go buy the Pioneer DJ AS1 synth and run that with the sampler, and then you can start doing some really crazy shit. But adding a CDJ-3000 to this whole thing is stupid. Just like buying this thing to run Serato is a dumb move too. No sense. You want to DJ on a computer, buy yourself a controller. You want to ditch the laptop, you buy yourself a standalone. And friend, about old tech, I wouldn't expect, like the Opus Quad looks futuristic to me. See, that looks like the new one. This looks like what I expected to look like. And picture this. Every car you get in, everything's kind of where you expect it to be, right? Nothing's that fucking futuristic. If you're to hop in a car that had a joystick in the middle, and that's how you were going to drive your car, that might look futuristic and it might be like what you would hope for, but the practicality of that makes no sense because you wouldn't be used to it. You still have to make shit as you progress your products along. You can't make some shit that's completely off the charts. It's got to feel like the predecessor a little bit. And adding 2000 Nexus 2s to yours is, once again, it's a mistake. There's absolutely no reason. Trust me. It's bullshit. No one is going to be impressed with your 4-deck mixing skills. James Hype is like a one-trick pony for that kind of shit. It works for him, I guess. It's not going to be a fun user experience. It won't be fun at all. You're honestly, I'm telling you, you want to impress people, get yourself a DJS 1000 sampler and really learn how to use it. Really master that. And then you're going to be impressive to people. Because if you know the DJS 1000 sampler, you can add on to an existing DJ and not take his job. You can be part of the act. DJs are going to want to book you alongside of them because you're going to be playing with them. You see what I mean? Learning how to spit on 4 decks, it's bullshit. There's no need for it. And listen, this doesn't match the current product line, but what you don't understand, CDJ-3000, I would not call current by no stretch of the imagination. What year did that thing come out? CDJ-3000 is kind of like at the end of its life. So who knows? The next CDJ to ever come out, if they make one, it might have pads just like this. The truth be told, when you look at the dead end players, they've got roll, they got slicer, they have all of these buttons. They have multi-function pads on them. CDJs, for the longest time, we had like four cue point buttons, and finally we got 8. So I'm telling you, as new DJs are kind of growing, everybody grew up with controllers that have pads on it. I would say the next round of CDJs that come out, they should look like this. They should have pads on them. You shouldn't hop on a CDJ and have less functionality than you do on like a prosumer unit or even a beginner unit. Most beginner units have more functions on them than a CDJ 3000. So that's my take on that. Yeah, 2020 exactly. So, you know, we're getting long in the tooth on that CDJ 3000 stuff. So the reason you're doing this is because Device Library Plus reads the files. Old CDJs and Pioneer Unit does not. You say 4 years in the DJ world is nothing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. Look at what's happened just in the past couple of years of DJ equipment. So I think 4 years is a lot. And yes, there's lots of DJs out there doing 4-deck mixing. But Carl Cox, this guy's on another level of stuff. He's got drum machines and shit going now. He's barely even doing 4 decks. These guys are doing tractor for Christ's sakes. You know what I mean? Yeah, listen to PJ. If he tells you that the device plus is going to work, it will work. A Mix Factory, I don't even know the answer to that one. Like, how can they make it any better without mixing for you? Here's how they could make this stuff better. I'll tell you real quickly, and I'll wrap it up with this. Here's what I'd like to see. And this is an idea for Dead End DJ, for Pioneer DJ, AlphaTheta, for anyone. Anyone use that software called DJ Studio? One of the cool things they have is when you do a mix, you can upload to their site and other people can see your mixes, that what you did. What I think would be the only thing all of us DJs want the most is exposure. That's what we want as a DJ. You want exposure. You might not have a YouTube channel for it. You don't want to do a Mixcloud. No one's listening to the shit. So if one of these companies made it somehow where it'd be very cool that I could do my mix right here, hit the record button, and without a computer, I could just press a button, upload it to the server, and have like a community. So everyone uploads their mixes, and then maybe you get big top DJs. You know, you get guys like Carl Cox or Roger Sanchez, and you get these guys, you know, different guests can come in and take a listen and vote. And every week there could be like, you know, you could be the winner. You could upload a mix and perhaps you could win and have your mix played on the radio somewhere, or maybe Pioneer DJ or Dead End DJ. They put in their email and they help spread it out. That's kind of where I think we're at right now. We need to be more of a community and share mixes and have some input on them. Not a problem, buddy. You know, the other thing I forgot to pop up as I'm getting ready to roll out the door here is my PayPal. Just in case anyone feeling in the Christmas spirit and you want to help support things around here. Like, for instance, tomorrow I'm getting delivered this new unit I bought to go overhead so we can do these kinds of shots. Because the rig I have going right now works, but it's not good to leave up. I want to have a better system. It's $200. So I'm spending $200 to have a better camera rig setup. Then I'm probably going to be spending some money on lights and shit. So you got it, PJ. Getting DJs to listen to other DJ mixes. That's a tough call. Yeah, it's difficult. I get it. That's the problem. My channel is I have a channel full of DJs, not a channel full of groupies. This overhead shot is it fixed? Yeah. This is a brand new AZ, by the way. They didn't fix it. This is a brand new one with the new current update on the firmware and stuff. And so if you can buy an AZ right now, go ahead. They're fine. There's no issues. You might have seen a couple of videos. Well, not videos, but there's some pictures floating around. Some people were getting AZs and the screens were popped out. Who the hell knows why? And they were taken care of pretty quickly. So, yeah, I would say if you want an AZ, don't wait for the bugs to be worked out. The bugs are worked out. They're fine now. And the quality construction of this, it's good. It's solid, man. It feels built as well as an XZ, the XZ. Jog wheels are far better. CDJ 3000 jog wheels. Close your eyes, stand in front of a 3000 and spin the two wheels and you would never know the difference because they are exactly the same mechanism. It's the exact part. Completely interchangeable. These just have more info on the screen. So this is actually really an updated CDJ 3000 jog wheel having that extra secondary display information. The most reliable feature. I don't know. I don't even know. The fact you can do beatport streaming, that's a great feature, I think. Being able to record. You can't record your streaming stuff to the stick, obviously, because it's streaming, but being able to record is good. All right, friends, I got to roll. My mom's all ready to hustle. So yeah, don't forget, you want to shoot a couple bucks in towards the Christmas gift of the overhead rig for the cameras. Feel free to do so. I'm not made of money here. I'd rather not buy this shit, but I do want to spit out some more videos and I don't want to screw around all the time. So we'll try and get this overhead thing with the A7 IV going perhaps. All right, friends, I'll probably, if I get back in time later on, maybe I'll do another video like this and spend an hour and a half. I don't want to keep this shit going too long. So talk to you all later. Thanks for watching and talk to you all soon.